I remember on Bomb First, you actually blamed Suge for Tupac getting killed.
Yeah.
Because it should have been up to him to protect him.
I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in A Vision. I only got shot once because they found the book.
I'm going to disclose the facts as they are. I mean, whether they're dead or alive, I'm going to tell the same story because that's my job, is to get to the truth.
New information about who committed the crime against Tupac was made public from his files. The new Tupac files are making me question everything, one fan commented. Why is there proof that Snoop was aware that Tupac was being targeted? In order to prevent Tupac from leaving the record label, Suge wanted him gone. Diddy also paid for the hit. He required fresh companions. This is precisely what Tupac's father stated in an interview. According to Tupac's biological father, Tupac would still be alive today if he had been a better father because he would never have trusted Suge Knight. However, he viewed Suge as a father figure since he was absent. All of his money was stolen by Suge.
I feel so bad. I gotta live the rest of my life realizing that maybe if I was a better father, he might not have gotten in that situation. He might have had enough wisdom to know that this motherfucker is nothing but a scoundrel. But he looked up to him like a father. Then to find out, a year, 8 months later, that he's cheating him out of all of his money, that's the final betrayal.
The first page of the new Tupac files states that Tupac was pictured with Sarah Chapman, the baby mother of Sean Diddy Combs, on November 18, 1995. Diddy referred to Sarah as his dream girl and that she was the one. Tupac didn't like it when she began dating him. According to reports, this prompted his initial attempt to apprehend Tupac, which the police subsequently disregarded and ignored.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in A Vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
He made another try when the previous one didn't work. A former police officer's allegations that Diddy had Tupac deal with for $1 million were made public during the Diddy trial. Suge had Biggie dealt with in retaliation. Keffe D was reportedly employed by Diddy to pursue Tupac. Keffe D was finally taken into custody and questioned by police after being free for 20 years. When he admitted that Diddy was the primary culprit during that interrogation, he was unaware that he was being filmed.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
However, they also indicate Suge and Snoop's involvement further down in the files. It's crucial to first examine Suge's part in everything in order to comprehend the Tupac files completely. According to the news, fresh names and proof of people involved in Tupac's death are emerging from the re-investigation. Suge Knight is the new name mentioned. The new Tupac files contain numerous references to Suge. Police noted that Suge's account of what transpired is quite strange from the start. They are mostly worried about why he didn't employ security for Tupac.
First of all, you see what happened. Suge understands who he's dealing with. Or what that just happened with, right?
Yeah.
I would have off the top shut my artist down. And if I would have shut him down, I would have moved him in a way to where could nobody get to him. Sure, you know what you doing, don't do. Like, it ain't no security on it.
Suge added, I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. The night Tupac passed away. How someone can go from performing well to doing poorly is beyond me.
When I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never.
However, Tupac was allegedly in a deep sleep, so there's no way they could have been laughing together, which makes this statement extremely problematic. According to new police records, Detective Russell Poole suspected that Knight set up Tupac's death before he could leave the label, then framed the rival Crips to confuse investigators. That raises the question of who prominent member he may have attempted to hold accountable for Tupac's demise. Snoop Dogg is among the most well-known in the world, because Snoop later disclosed in an interview that he was initially meant to be riding in the BMW with Tupac the night he died away. This scenario played out flawlessly for Diddy and Suge Knight.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, did you I heard a story. Did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with.
Is anyone going to mention how Snoop Dogg could have stopped Tupac from passing? Was one of the widespread reactions to the successful framing attempt. Given that Tupac should still be alive, the release of these new files and Faison Love's response are distressing.
This time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I liked their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it did.
Snoop Dogg had a close relationship with the streets 20 years ago. Some speculate that he may not have gotten into the automobile after hearing a warning that Tupac would be targeted that evening. Investigators also discovered another interview in which Snoop stated that he believed Tupac disliked him just 2 days before to Tupac being targeted.
I always felt on Pac it was because Snoop could have stopped that whole thing. I mean, because like I said, Snoop was a Crip. Pac offended some Crips. Doing some game, some dumb, really. It was set off a whole chain of events. You know, in LA don't get mad, they get even. So, you want a real Pac story? That's my Pac story. If Pac would be alive today, if he had stayed allies with Snoop and not cross Snoop.
But what may have actually transpired is shown by the evidence that investigators found regarding Diddy. Diddy allegedly wanted Tupac gone because he aspired to be like him, according to a fan comment.
Yeah, a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like trying to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging.
Investigators explained Diddy's potential motivation for wanting Tupac gone at the start of his file. This relates to a tweet that stated, 50 Cent says it's not over. There will be more unreleased Diddy footage on YouTube that was left out of the Netflix documentary. This film will show how Diddy had a family with Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Diddy and Sarah Chapman, who notably dated Tupac in 1995, had a daughter named Chance Combs in 2006. When the photo of Tupac and Sarah from the 1990s got public, Diddy was questioned about it in an interview.
Shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and in his mind earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
He was also asked about his role in the news reporting during Diddy's trial. After being cited 77 times in a recent court document, Diddy is being questioned on his purported involvement in Tupac's demise. The hired hitman in the case, KD, claims that everything was completed since Diddy requested it and that the task was simpler than anticipated. Interestingly, though, Tupac didn't seem to be all about the streets. According to someone who wrote Tupac's biography, he was incapable of using a gun or defending himself.
Documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah.
However, when Keffe D revealed how Tupac was removed at Diddy's request, the physical evidence used in the Diddy trial shocked the courtroom. Tupac and Suge Knight, the head of his record label, were in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996. They attended a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. After it was over, Tupac and member Baby Lane got into a fight in the foyer.
Because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method act.
The fight between Tupac, Suge Knight, and the operators was broken up by security. Tupac and Suge then went back to their hotel to change before going out to party at a club. They were driving to the club at around 11 p.m. when everything unexpectedly happened in the street, as detailed below. They were aware of Tupac's performance at Club 662. Orlando and Keith D were among the members who leaped into their white Cadillac and began driving the strip in search of the criminal. They eventually located Tupac's caravan at the intersection of Koval Lane and East Flamingo Boulevard. With Tupac in the passenger seat and Suge in the driver's seat, the white Cadillac drove up next to the black BMW. The Cadillac's rear window rolled once in the arm, once in the leg, and again in the chest. Police later investigated a troubling interview Keffe D gave on DJ Vlad's broadcast after the event went unsolved for several years. He began recounting the moment they saw Tupac and drew up beside him in that interview.
Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keffe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keffe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Additionally, he claimed that everything transpired swiftly because Tupac was grabbing for his gun just before they committed the crime against him. However, the report has not been verified. This implied that Tupac already knew something was about to happen. The interview also included previously unseen footage of Keffe D's police interrogation.
About Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keith D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in...
Police also examined Keffe D's response to Tupac's death during their inquiry, which appeared to show his true feelings.
Up was a driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the...
However, this is where the files start to get weird since some individuals think Tupac might still be alive due to the holes in the story, and an officer once stated in an interview that Tupac was actually an industrial plant designed to help put an end to the rivalry between the Red and Blue Street teams.
Driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
Tupac died because the plan didn't succeed. but files that have been gathered over the years indicate that he might still be alive. Many question whether the individuals in charge of turning him into an industry plant chose to remove him from the streets when things were too dire in order to preserve Tupac's life. The files begin with an interview in 2010 with Tupac's longtime pal Trey. Remember that this was 14 years after Tupac's purported death, but the interview asked him when he last saw Tupac while pointing the camera at the ground. He claimed to have seen him in Cuba rather than pausing to consider why the reporter would ask. A news website then published a video that seemed to show Tupac in a Cuban parking lot just 3 weeks later.
You say Suge looks over, he sees you?
Yeah.
He looks right at you?
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then, Tupac's busy getting evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in the back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window.
The long-running notion that Tupac is still alive and residing in Cuba began at that same moment. Even Shu thinks Tupac is still alive because he stated as much in 2 separate interviews, one of which took place years apart. Suge was singled out in a bar a few weeks after he brought up Tupac once more, and a man pursued him 6 times. However, after the incident, she refused to assist the authorities at all, fearing that he would be targeted for discussing Tupac.
But dog, I really do, man. It took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate to happen. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. This would never happen, dude.
However, Suge's son committed the same error when he claimed that Tupac was still alive and residing in Malaysia. Later, he followed up on it with a text exchange in which he was allegedly told, "You said too much. It's time to leave." However, this infuriated him. Thus, he released pictures of Tupac with modern-day stars like Beyoncé and 50 Cent. "He never left us," was written as the post's caption. "They'll be pursuing me shortly." Some feel the charges may be true, while others say this was merely a publicity gimmick for his son. Shu Knight was among Tupac's closest associates.